sunny
Southern
Florida.
California, not good there.
Good thing I'm not in
Oh no.
Southern California because I'd be really hot. Though I can't complain because most people are under like winter weather advisories and cold. I mean, it right now is 72 degrees outside as well as inside. So I'm just absorbing it and loving my living in paradise.
There you go, Miss Jen. You want to share what's happening in your world?
um, so as you mentioned, I just came back from the college
No
national
snow?
championship media days, and I was also able to cover my first concert. So yay! Thank you, Tony Pay PR. I appreciate you, and especially you, Miss Rachel. I was able to cover both um, the Saturday night playoff playlist, and that featured. It was supposed to feature someone by the name of Mooney Long, Maui Long, something like that. Sorry, but she bailed at the last minute. So they were able to get a local legend, Quavo, to open for Gucci Mane, and Gucci Mane opened for Lil Wayne. Who, Wayne, listen, I love you, but have a little respect for people who are older than you because we can't stay up with your concert starting at 11 o'clock, friend. Like, especially when you've been going since 8 a.m. I'm just saying. But okay. But it was a blast. I actually saw and Two Chains participated as well. And it was kind of cool because where I was in the arena, um, they were I saw like I did see Two Chains, I saw Lil Wayne, I saw Quavo. I didn't see Gucci down there, but I was still like, okay. But see, I saw them like as I was going to the ladies' room or what have you, and they would like be like, like I just got off stage, I don't really want to talk to anybody, and I would just smile at them and walk on by, and they would give me this bright smile as they could tell us what good a vibe past them. Like I knew who they were, but that was cool. And then on last night or Sunday night, I covered Knox. I don't know if you ladies have heard of him or not. He's good. Like I'm not gonna. I need to figure out who his media distribution is because or PR people are, so we could get on their media distribution. He's good. He's gonna go places. I'm just saying. And also, I don't know if y'all have heard of this like singer from England or not. His name is Miles Smith. He's really good. Has a couple number ones right now. He so Knox opened for Miles. Miles opened for Camilla. Cabello. So Camila Cabello. I don't know why I said Camilla. I'm sorry. Camila Cabello. And I spoke to Holly Rowe. I spoke to a couple other ESPN analysts. Check out our YouTube page for these interviews. My Instagram page because I still need to make us one. And I'll be uploading everything to our Facebook page. But it was a lot of
It's
fun. I
all
gotta ask.
Facebook.
It's all the same. People get hurt everywhere. So it was a great time, and I'm excited to go play in snow in a few minutes.
The one thing I want to, before we get into more of the meat and the guts of the show, I do want to say, rest in peace to Bob Euchre. For those of you
Yes.
that know who he is, or I mean, I learned so much. I did a show last night with Eric on the South Florida Tribune. Did you know that he is in the WWE Hall of Fame because he called some WWE games? He is in the Baseball Hall of Fame. He is in the Wisconsin. He's in the Broadcasters Hall of Fame. Like he did so much for baseball. I mean, he played 6 years in the majors. He then was hired as a scout, believe it or not, and then very quickly turned into broadcaster. He broadcast for the Milwaukee Brewers for 54 years. He also played a role, obviously, in Major League, if you are into the movies, the series Major League. And he was on the television show Mr. Belvedere from, I believe it was like 85 to 90. He passed away at the age of 90. He was 10 days shy of his 91st birthday. He died at home. He actually had small cell lung cancer and he was diagnosed in 2023. He knew when he called that last game of the between the Brewers and the Mets won to advance to the playoffs, he knew that he wasn't going to see another one. And as he signed off, he
Aw.
said that one stings. And as you look back now, I can see like where, you know, the players were taking to him. I mean, he didn't come out publicly and tell anybody what he had until that family is released now. But he told some of his inner circle, and I'm sure because after that game, it was just weird how the players went directly to him and were talking with him instead of, being together and stuff like that. So I just wanted to say, and I'm sorry if I'm putting a downer on the show, but I just want to recognize because he was in our industry for 54 years and did such a wonderful job. You invited him into your home and your heart. Like he was just an awesome caller. And I honestly I don't know what Milwaukee Brewers baseball is going to sound like in the going forward. Like I'm going to miss that get up, get out of here, gone, a home run, Sorry, but I didn't mean to take over. I just wanted to quick get that out there.
Do you remember where he played baseball?
He started in the Braves, but he did play for the Cardinals. And he played for one other team too. I think he played
Yeah, there's there. St. Louis Cardinals shared a tribute, and then I was reading some other things, and he and Gibson had a very goofy where Gibson was his humor was completely opposite. So it really apparently it kept anyone that was near them very entertained. And when they both got fined for a team photo where they decided to hold hands and on the front row.
Yes, he actually played for the Milwaukee Braves, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Atlanta Braves. And he played with some of the greats. Like he played with Hank Aaron, he played with Warren Spahn, he played with some of the greats. But anyways,
It's sad to hear a voice that defined a generation that will no longer be heard, and I understand that.
the owner, or I think it was Bud Selig, said he was the soul of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Oh, easily.
It'll be interesting to see how things and what things transpire afterwards. Because let's face it, the 10 years of broadcasters, to see someone in the business for 50 years, people don't stay in any one job, much less a career for 50 years anymore. It's unheard of. We won't see the likes of the Vin Scullys and Bob Uecker and those. I mean, what an amazing man. So I know that's not where we were taking this show. Sorry.
No,
No,
you're
but I
fine.
like it. I'm glad you
No,
said
because
something.
we honestly talked about talking about him anyway, so it's fine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Jen, do you want to share any more about the media days and any of your spectacular interviews, or is there anything
Sure.
you
Well,
hinted at
I can
Holly
share-
Rowe, which is
Yeah, that was
rather
fun. I don't know if I should have told her what I told you I told her. But in all honesty,
So
it did mean her. It's just like how it happened was she saw the text, and so I was like, I didn't know how much of it she had seen. So Candy, Rob has always given me a compliment that I need to work for Holly Rowe with ESPN and become her successor. So I had my phone in an angle where she could see like the text that Carrie and I were texting each other. So I said, yeah, my friend's fiance thinks I should be your successor and I should be your intern in the meantime.
That's fine. That is fun.
But she was super sweet. I loved talking to her because she gave the best flippant answer. And I will quote her and give her credit in the future. But somebody was like, well, Holly, what is it like for you to be in the like as one of the first female broadcasters, sports broadcasters, and as a female football fan? And she goes, wait. Football fans should know no gender. She said,
Amen.
my first football game, I was 6 years old. She may have said 5, so I'll say 5 or 6. That was my first football game, and it was a college football game. She said, and that is where my love of football came from. She said, and my parents helped grow it. I know the sport. She said, but it should never, ever be gender related. Anyone can be a fan.
Agreed.
And how she said it, and I'll post it. My camera cut off in the middle of it because it was so hot in there. My phone just got really hot. But I have a Sony Xperia Pro for my cell phone, and I got that one specifically for videos because it's just easier to upload to social media. And so it's literally got digital SLR quality, so like modern digital SLR quality camera shoots and recording. So I have to upload that. I haven't uploaded all of my videos yet, but I will be uploading that one. But it was so refreshing because I was just like, yes, preach, girl, preach. And I mean that with all due respect because we hear that. I was also able, so I asked out, I always have my key questions that I ask, which is, what was your favorite play of the season? Because people want to talk about themselves and we want to hear them talk about themselves. We want to hear what makes them as players excited. And so I heard a couple of different answers and then I forget who it was, but I'll post it and I'll tag like what I did. But as we all know, Rudy, the movie, was based off of Notre Dame football and took place at Notre Dame. So
one of my favorite movies when I was younger.
Me too. And I used to watch it whenever I have to like go into competition mode. And so I would watch it every night before swim meet. Like, yeah, it's my jam. I own it still on Prime. But I asked one of the players now, I go, all right, so this is something that the world just has to know. And he was like, okay. And I look real serious and I go, how often do you guys have to watch Rudy? He burst out laughing. He said, honestly, not as often as you would think, but at least a couple of times a year. Love
That's
it.
awesome. That's awesome.
He's like, but it is a good movie. I was like, no, it's a great movie. I love it. But it's
a
just
timeless movie.
fun to talk to these guys, to see their enthusiasm for the game, how eloquent they are, because we hear people get picked on, like on the pros and in college level, about how well they speak. Well, get past that. Listen to the message. Listen to the message. People are going to have accents. Like, I don't think the three of us really have accents. Megan doesn't have an accent. But not everybody was as blessed as us not to have accents. And
oh, well, but if you listen to me against my siblings, I do.
But I don't talk to your siblings.
I'm okay with that. I'm sorry. That didn't come out quite right, but I'm like, you're right, you don't.
But like, I love it here in Charlotte with Xavier Legette. Like, people found out he eats squirrel. Okay, that's different. So he's actually like fallen into it, and he brought squirrel one day for the entire team to try.
Well, there was one that did that was raccoon. Well, that was an NFL team because they asked him what was it? Was it turkey or ham? And he goes, "It's raccoon for Thanksgiving." Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
My house is both turkey and ham, no raccoon. But no, it's just so much fun. And Candy, you know it. You've been there. You've been in the press box. You hear these young men speak. Their coaches, like listening to Coach Denbrook. Like, that was awesome. I couldn't get to Coach Freeman. But it was cool because I did see some of the people that I know from the ACC who, and I also saw, y'all know my friend Charlie, his friend AP, we met last year at Super Bowl. I saw him. Oh, Candy, you want me to give you some info? I'll post camera. Call me after your next show. It's just so exciting. And it's fun because you feel their enthusiasm. You see all the players, you talk to them, you get to the coaches, and that's all it's about. Like, I don't know. I love it. Like, we're so fortunate with what we get to do. Not everybody gets to do this. And it's such a blessing. And I met this really cool guy named Haas, on Sunday night. He actually took me back to my hotel. He was very kind. And because he was like, I'm not having you ride the MARTA this late. I was like, okay, thanks. I was more afraid I'd get lost. But, and he and I were talking about how blessed we are. And it's something we can never take for granted. And I get nervous. I get shy. I really do. And I'm not gonna lie, like a friend of the show, Fago, he's also helps out with some of our social media stuff. He's the one who first called me out that I was shy. I would have never thought that. And then I was like, wait, yeah, you're kind of right. But it's fun.
I don't think it's shy that's you. I think you sit back and observe. You do a
I
lot
do
of
that too.
observation.
But he can see, like, it's funny because he can see, I'll start having negative Nelly thoughts that I don't express out loud. And that'll put me in shy mode. And he'll be like, get out of that thought process now. I'm like, okay. So, but just, I don't know. And I will say this, if anybody has a desire to do what we're doing, take the leap. Do it. Don't do it better than us, and don't try to emulate us because we're the best at what we do.
Or have a friend like me that just tells everybody it's going to happen and then you have to make it happen.
Yeah. Which is what you did for me. So thank you. Never forgotten. But it was just exciting. I mean, and then there were some great quotes. I know I'm going to read them from the press, if that's okay, from the press release, because it was easier to find. So regarding Jeremiah Smith on Notre Dame, Coach Freeman said, it's not just one thing you can do to defend Jeremiah. He's one of the best receivers I've ever seen in the college football game at a young age. He's a dynamic football player. He's physically a big presence, but he can run and he can catch. You're going to do the same thing, try to do some different things to try to keep him off balance, but also keep the rhythm of the quarterback off balance. But the other part is we've got good players too. We've just got to do what we do, and we're going to trust our guys to get the job done no matter what we call defensively. I still believe strongly that we have to stop the run. We've got to do things that defensively to make sure we can stop the run, and we've really got to get good in the red zone. Obviously, they didn't stop the run. I really thought that Ohio State was not gonna. That I thought Notre Dame was gonna beat Ohio State. Truly, I did. Like, just because there were not enough upsets in the bowl season. So, I mean, I guess I got upset.
Ohio State got beat by Michigan, and they were on a mission ever since that beatdown.
Yeah.
Everybody talked about it because Michigan wasn't ranked at the time. Michigan wasn't having a good season, and here Ohio State could not beat them. And I think that woke them up and woke a powerhouse inside them to go out and prove something that they felt they had to prove to everybody.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to come down to whoever's game style was started off and was able to hold it. So Notre Dame is gritty, slow grind football. Ohio State is a high flying, fast paced movie. So whichever one of those took hold was going to be how the game went out, was how I was seeing it. And it was going to be down to how those first, by the third drive. So Notre Dame had it twice, and I saw how their second drive ended, and I saw the start of Ohio's second drive, and I'm like, this game is now Ohio. It's okay,
Yeah.
but that's where it was. And since I wasn't feeling the best, I went to bed. But I kind of just moved my off center. How do I fix it? I don't even know. There we go. Sorry, wardrobe malfunction. Um, so I did get to see the game. I'm not even going to lie that I did. But I knew how the game was going to end by the time I watched the Ohio's second drive go down. And honestly, Rob's a Notre Dame fan, but I have I have a niece and nephew that are in Ohio State, go to Ohio State. One is in Columbus and one is at a satellite campus. So it's kind of fun that they got their school got the national championship.
Yeah. How many national championships is this for OSU?
Good question.
They've had like at least two in the last 5, right?
At least 2, yeah. I will say this, and I have this content up already. I can repost it again. I'll repost it on 3 Chicks. But just watching the open practices. Now we could only watch for 15 minutes. And yes, you got a piece.
9.
Love you, Candy. Text me after your show so he can tell you what it
nine.
will tell you.
9 is the answer. They have 9 national championships.
Okay.
But yes, I'm going to go in 2 minutes, but that's okay. Keep going.
Isn't Ryan Day also the same coach from Notre Dame who like sent a kid up in a cherry picker to do something on the scoreboard and the kid like got caught up in like 70-mile-per-hour winds?
I don't know that story.
I'll have to look that up. Like it happened in the last couple of years. I remember this like vividly. I don't know if it was Ryan Day or not. But no, it was really good. And I'll post some of the quotes, the important quotes too, on 3 Chicks that we have. It was just, and Carrie, congratulations. By the way, going to the next round. Yeah. Because nobody ever saw the Chiefs going back to the Super Bowl this season. Ever.
They didn't see us last year, so.
Last year was more of a surprise.
Right. But yes.
Congratulations.
Patrick's been leading the team for 7 years and has been to the championship game 7 years.
Won't this be his 4th Super Bowl? Okay.
We lost to Tom Brady, remember?
Yeah.
People
ask about like Lamar Patrick. I'm like, it's gonna be Patrick. He is the current GOAT of the postseason. Like, love him or hate him. But bye, Candy. Text me later.
We love you, Candy.
Love you.
It's
too.
informative. So it's just.
So you opened up a door. So I guess we kind of need to walk through it.
Yeah, next week we didn't segue well in that.
You did a great segue. So yes, we have the final stage has been set to see who hits the Super Bowl, and it's the Bills versus the Chiefs at Arrowhead, Jiha, known as Arrowhead, whatever. Arrowhead, and then we have the Commanders, led by a rookie quarterback, going into the Link in Philly to see who's coming in for the NFC.
That was a big upset. Didn't see that one
coming. I was wondering when it would come.
Right. I didn't expect it this season. Did I expect it in the future? 100%.
No, I expected it this season, not because of any other reason other than they had 13 of their defensive players going into or on IR going into December. They are now up to 18.
Uh-huh.
And it's just how far down does it go? And I don't even think it was a defense that fell off.
Right.
But I still think that at some point I'm sad, but I was not shocked. because
I'm
the
not gonna
Commanders
lie,
have gotten hot at the right time.
Dane Campbell plays Russian roulette a lot. He played Russian roulette at the wrong time.
Yes. There was an interesting thing I found today that the 4 teams that had over a 70% success rate on fourth down conversions are all 4 playing this next weekend.
Interesting. I want you to share this website with me, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'll find it when we get off. It was that.
Fine,
Yeah,
just-
that was about the calls.
Yeah.
But that was actually something that CBS Sports put out today, that all 4 teams that are in the playoffs were the 4 that had at least a 70% success rate on the fourth down conversions.
Okay.
Now, that means I can tell you from our side that we did not take, there were times that we did not take a fourth down or try the fourth down when I personally had hoped we would be.
Uh-huh.
So the gambling is not as high on some of these fourth downs. But so you're going off how many tries and how many successfuls, right?
Right.
But overall, that's pretty interesting because that's a coaching thing. So your coach plays it smart. I don't know. I don't know how you predict, how you interpret that. I just thought it was very interesting that the 4 best fourth down conversion teams are also the 4 playing for the championships. Let's talk about those calls, folks. Let's talk about them.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to.
I'm not gonna lie. I was traveling. I was covering college football, so I didn't get to watch a lot of the games.
So I'm going to start off and say that one of the calls, I turned to Rob and said, I don't understand why that one was called. And it was the second one that was called. It was, I mean, I understand the rule. That's not what we're talking about. What I'm looking at is he was a runner and he went to slide late. So at that part, it was, I don't understand why that's being called. And I wish it hadn't been. That, I've not often been in the position where I'm thinking, damn, that's going to come back to haunt us somehow.
Right. Well, and I
But
feel bad because for a lot of the Chiefs and Chiefs fans, because honestly, everybody is like either a lover or a hater. There's a no in the middle. I mean, maybe I'm in the middle with Patrick because, like, I'm not a superstar fan, but I appreciate who he is. I like him. You know what I mean? But I'm not a Kerry Johnson fan, right? Like, you're more of a super fan. Like, we all know who my favorite quarterback is. So, that being said, I feel bad when he gets crap. And I appreciated his quote last week where somebody said, do you guys hate being the villains of the NFL right now? And he was like, no, I'll wear that. Because they've done nothing wrong. Andy Reid is not one who cheats. None of these guys cheat. They have the utmost respect for each other and other players. And
okay, I have, if you think about it, we hear sound bites from several teams out there, their players. And I was very guilty of this because I was waiting specifically for this moment. When Isaiah Likely lost in Arrowhead, he said, if this is the best they are, whatever, good luck in the offseason. We will only get better from here.
Right.
Okay, so that was my soundbite that I put in my hip pocket, that when they lost to the Bills, I gladly shared that, but I had not talked about it previous to that. But you don't see sound bites from the Washington Commanders where their players are speaking out. I don't see them very often. I don't see them often against the Bills. I haven't seen, it's more than when Sirianni goes off the cuff that gets made into sound bites, as opposed to the players.
The Bills get a lot of sound bites, but I think it depends on So our phones feed into what we look up the most. So you're going to look up
Right.
the Chiefs and the Eagles the most. Me, like, because I'm friends with Nick Stevens. He's a huge Bills fan. I'm also friends with my friend girl Amber Ray. She's a huge Bills fan. So I've got a lot of Bills fans on my feed. So I get a lot of Bills updates too. But yeah, there's a lot of sound bites coming from and there's
but they're not.
a ton from, sorry for cussing, from the Panthers too. And I don't know
But
why.
there's not. But you don't see those making the national media. Is probably where I should say that, right?
Okay.
You've got control. Those coaches have set locker room expectations or things is like, man, keep it in the house. Let's discuss it as a house, but let's not get bulletin board material out to the public.
Sure.
It's kind of how I see that, right?
Okay.
But one of my favorite coaches, and honestly, until Andy took us to the Super Bowl, he would have been the one that I would have said hands down. Marty Schottenheim. I don't know what about it. I loved him, right? I read a quote of his saying, if your first statement after a loss is talking about the refs, you never had it in your mind to win the game. And that's a paraphrase. But his thing is, you should be looking like, dang, what did we do that we can do differently next time to have better success? If you walk into, and I told my girls this off camera earlier. Today, I did not have the right mindset. Whose fault is that? It was me. So the first time and I get out there, I'm working at work, something gets said to me, and that plants a seed in my already negative pot, and it grows fast. And so I get frustrated.
Sure.
But I didn't go out saying today's going to be a good day. I went out saying I'm frustrated. I wanted to, I didn't want to get up. I was cold. I didn't want to work. So my
you were feeling my
negative
energy
garden
from yesterday.
yes. So my negative garden was already planted.
Right.
And then all I had to do was fill in what was going to bloom there, right? Same thing goes with, man, tomorrow's good. If I would have gone out with a better, I've been able to go, whatever, and move on. But I didn't.
Right.
So I can look back in retrospect and I can say, well, it was because of this and this and this, or I could say, it was because I chose that mindset. So if you walk into a game thinking you are going to go against the referees, the referees are always going to make calls for the opposing team. We're always going to be shortchanged. You lost the game before you walked into the stadium.
Well, and my dad has always told me, and I'll tell the story about when I got away with something. To this day, I know I should have been disqualified. And I even got out and I was like, dang, was I was DQ'd, right? And I was doing a 200 butterfly for the first time. So when you're swimming butterfly, you touch the wall with both hands. Push off. I touched the wall with one hand. Like, I was just like, one arm was just a little short. Hand to God, I swear. I swear. I thought I got DQ'd, but you know what? I was like, I'm still going to finish this race. Even if I got DQ'd, I want to know my time. Because I wasn't cheating. I mean, I was like 1/10 of an inch away from the wall, if that.
And that's also, if you get the wrong rotation there, yes, I know. I did the same thing.
And so I finished my race. I get up. My coach was actually standing up for me too. And she never stood up. She stood up for me twice. She never got out of her chair. She just sat in her chair, clocked our times. And I asked the timekeeper, I was like, so what was my time when I got DQ'd? And they were like, you didn't get DQ'd. I was like, wait, what? They were like, no. It was like, but my mom was like, shut up. I was like, okay.
Moms are great for that too, by the way.
You have to be able to overcome bad officiating. That is what my dad has always told me. Like, in all honesty, I still want to know what Jerry Jones has over David Tepper because it makes no logical sense. What Jerry Jones is allowed to do at my stadium. It does not carry a hand. I'm not even being a homer. Not even being a homer there. It makes no logical sense just from a pure football standpoint. Like inducting Jimmy Johnson in the Hall of Fame at Bank of America Stadium. Why? Why? So you
It
have
doesn't
to
make any
overcome
sense.
bad owners and bad officiating. And it's just, and people have got to stop hating and blaming the losses. You guys have heard me blame, I think, 2 games on really bad officiating in the 9 years you've known me. Because I really don't do that a lot.
I don't. And even people, I don't know if you remember this, but our buddy Tyler, after
Why
Green
is Ty
Bay,
there? We need to have him come on one
I
day.
we should. He said something to me on a post, man, that last call should have been called. And I said, but it wasn't, so I'm not dwelling there.
No, you can't.
What
You can't dwell on it.
you can't do that. And if Tomlin even said, when it was talk about
Great segue,
extending
by
or
the way.
making, huh?
Said great segue.
Oh,
Keep going.
Tomlin was talking about the overtime rules and calls and such at one point. And all I remember him saying is, if I can't coach my guys through 60 minutes of football, and then I'm leaving it in somebody else's hands to win, and I can't complain about that. So it's that whole mindset. You have to go in as a winner,
Mm-hmm.
accept defeat if that's a necessity. Walk out and say, what can I do better next time? And that has to go for all walks of life.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know if you saw this, but our friend Willie is like, why do I not ever get an invite? We need to have Willie on. You'll love him.
Okay.
And hey, Adam. Ooh,
Andy
Carrie,
is joining.
to share that because I've got some fighting words for you, girl.
Oh, Andy is joining us.
Steelers fans, y'all keep chanting you want to get rid of Mike Tomlin.
No.
Tell me who Mike Tomlin has had as quarterback since Big Ben, who deserves his place in the Hall of Fame and behind bars, retired. Tell me. Give me one consistent quarterback that man has had. Oh, wait. What? You can't? Okay. And what has he consistently done for the last 6 years? Taking y'all to the playoffs. Maybe not deep, but you're still at the door.
The Steelers are Tomlin.
Uh-huh.
Tomlin has built that legacy at this point. So
yes.
Who is available out there that can build you a legacy?
I mean, y'all can fire Tomlin, and I'll take Tomlin down here as an owner, but you have to take David Tepper back.
I think it's fair.
I mean, right?
Absolutely.
I think it's fair. Sorry, I was about to take a vitamin. I just said not to. I don't know if you saw the message from Adam, but he said, Carrie, good luck to your Chiefs on Sunday. Go Buffalo Bills.
Well, I think there's only about Chiefs Nation, or Chiefs Kingdom, why did I say nation? Chiefs Kingdom is pretty big. But I think that 95% of football fans beyond Chiefs Kingdom are rooting for the Bills, and that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I think it's more because, it's in Arrowhead, right?
Mm-hmm.
If something freaky first of all, the NFL is already making arrangements for Taylor. Okay. So the script's already made.
I mean, I've been paying all season long for this stupid
I'm not
script.
even trying to be mean. Because we both know, I know. Taylor's been to more games than not, even if she's really quietly hidden in the owner's suite, right? So, which is always a possibility because she's friends. I mean, she's known Andy Reid since she was a little girl, which I did not know that until last year. I think he only got frustrated with her because she didn't bring him a homemade Pop-Tart. But I actually really do wish the Chiefs and the Bills were in different divisions. I really do. Because I feel bad for the Bills because, again, I don't see how they're going to beat Patrick Mahomes. I mean,
I
Kelsey
can tell you,
hasn't been at his best this year. Can you admit
but
that?
he had 117 yards of reception this last game. He was our other
Yeah,
touchdown.
he's becoming postseason or playoff season.
Postseason Kelsey. Playoff season Kelsey showed up, and he set new records. He's now the most. He went above Jerry Rice. And his. Sorry, my Andy joined the show, so
Oh, hi, Andy.
he just blends in with my sweatshirt, but he's here, taking my attention.
I know my Sydney wants my attention. Something fierce. I don't know if you can hear her at the door or not. But she looks so positive. Kills me.
You know, I think that the only thing is there's a lot. What people are using as, well, I hate them, all this. And I didn't like the Pats. That's no secret. But why didn't I like them? Because they were so successful. I wanted my team to be successful too.
And now that is your team, the Chiefs. And you know what?
Correct.
The main reason I did not like the Patriots is they never owned up to their cheating stuff. They never owned it. But then again, I thought it was stupid, highly stupid for the NFL to go after them so hard for Deflategate. Literally. It's cold. They were warming it up so it wasn't throwing concrete, okay? Like, that shouldn't be illegal. Should you have taken the measurement of the football again to see how much air was in there? Absolutely. Pumped it up a little bit more? Absolutely. But it didn't need to be what it was. Like, that just made me more mad about Cheatgate.
Right.
All right.
Jen, you and I can talk forever, and people are going to say, do you ever be quiet? And the answer is no.
No, we don't. We like sports.
Mm-hmm. Sorry about your bad luck.
I'm making her go to Super Bowl with me next year. Start saving your nickels and dimes for your airfare, little girl.
Absolutely.
San Francisco, baby, is where it's at. And I will say now, I cannot afford to go to the Super Bowl this year. The hotel rates are astronomically expensive. And I'm not going to put myself in financial debt for this until we start making money.
Right.
Just not going to happen.
You have to have sponsorships. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. You and I need to talk about that.
We do.
Because I need friends, you to do the job. I need to give you my passwords for stuff. All right.
All right,
Willie,
friends,
we're going to have you on. And I'll shut up now, Carrie, so you can finish your sentence.
Oh, no, you're fine. You know how to reach out to us. You know, there's Megan, our Queen of Hoops. We have Jen, our correspondent abroad. I'm going to start calling you that. We have Candy with South Tribune, and then we have little old me in the middle of the United States. So reach out to us, give us a call, message us. We're on all platforms. We do really like the input. We appreciate the audience, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
I kept trying to end it.